What is called in your book?
Centigrade.
Ha.
Æ, ég get ekki bæði tengt headphone bæði við síman og tölvuna. En þú mátt hafa headphone viltu það? Nei?
Get ég óvart skellt á?
Já, verður
We
passað.
cannot hear you very well, Sonia.
You are muted, Sonia.
Nei, við erum líka muted. Svona. Það svo hér, og svo.
Now, can you hear me now?
Yes, now can.
Yeah, we can hear you clear.
Great, great. Hello, Rose.
Hello Sonia. So, Ragna, today you are having you have the phone and the laptop, or you're having an extra person called Ragna. I can see it's appearing too.
Yeah, I'm using the laptop to record the meeting, but I'm using my phone to attend myself.
Hver þú í þessu?
Okay, so today your daughter is also attending too.
Yes,
It is good that now we also have children in education.
Oh,
She is.
Hi.
Hi.
how nice she is. Hello.
How are you? Nice to see you. You're welcome. Today you are part of us.
She is also have a project that she is letting people in.
Oh,
You will be
that's so nice. That's so nice.
But I think I have to be silent because when I speak it's echo.
Is the recording on right now?
Yes. Yes, the recording is on, but we are on the wrong account. But I'm recording in the laptop.
Hi, Kelvin from it's called Buddha, Kilimani Buddhas. How are you?
You?
Yeah. How are you?
guys?
Imani Buddha.
Yeah, we are good and we are hearing you.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I was up and about, but I'm listening in.
Oh, that's great. Huh? Looking forward to see you on Thursday, on Friday.
Hello.
Yeah, Friday,
Yeah.
welcome. Yes.
Yeah.
Lot of welcomes.
And Dorothea will be there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us in the meeting.
Heyrðu þú í headphone-unum?
Welcome, Abel.
Nei.
Ég held við getum ekki notað þá því að þeir eru að tengjast báðum.
I was thinking that it was successful in one of our meetings. What do you think, Dorothy? That if each and everyone can, like, introduce him or herself and tell something where they're staying and what they're doing. Just briefly to say who am I and where am I from and so on. What do you think?
I think that is what we are going to do. I just wanted to give an allowance of 10 minutes, and I can see it's only 1 minute, and then we are starting the meeting, which is going to be 9:10 Kenyan time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are just remaining with 1 minute, and then I would like everyone to introduce themselves with their name and maybe where they're coming from and the organization. I think that one will help us know who is in the house, because there are new people who have joined us and some are already familiar. So it will also make them to know the person who is in there. So I think I'll go ahead and start.
Yeah.
My name is Dorothy Adenga. I I come from Kenya. I'm a director of Wayward School, and I'm the coordinator of Education Thematic Table. You are all welcome to this meeting. I've thrown the ball to the next person. Rose Memo Nyango. Everyone is from Kisumu, Kenya. I love you all. That's all I can say for now.
Yes, hi.
Yes.
I am Antonio. I live in London. And I am involved in a few tables of the forum and part of the organization of the forum. And I am very keen to see what is the agenda for today and what is the plan and whether we have to wait for other people and how we move forward.
May hawase.
My name is Sonia. I'm from Argentina. I live in Mar del Plata. And I've got good news.
Great. Yes.
Oh, that's so nice. That's so great. Ooh.
Yes.
Who is going next?
Hi, I'm Kevin. I represent an organization called Kilimani Buddha CBO. It's a community-based organization in Eldoret. We focus on issues of health, where we promote matters of sexual reproductive health and rights amongst the adolescent and youth. And we also do skills training for the youth who are under 34. We equip them with skills so that they can be able to get self-employment. And we also are very keen in the matters of promoting youth inclusion, in the matters of governance, and being participatory in the matters of community decision-making processes. So that is what we do in Kilimani Buddha CBO. And I thank you for this meeting, and I'm looking forward to engaging with you people more. Thank you.
You're also from
Thank you so
Kenya,
much.
Kilimani.
Yes, we are from Kenya.
Yes.
We are speaking known as Eldoret.
Okay.
Yes. So I throw the ball to the next person who can introduce themselves. Thank you.
I'm Ragnar. I'm from Iceland. And I'm thriving.
Okay. Next. Who is going next?
Hi, Jessica.
Abel, are you there?
Mention their
I'm
name
from
so that we go
Kenya and I
fast.
Abel, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, hi all of you. My name is Abel. I'm currently in Nairobi. I was invited for an international meeting for peace and non-violence. So we are finishing, it was a 3-day meeting. We are finishing tomorrow. I go back to Kisii, where I come from. I run an organization called Fair Kenya. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you. Chica. Excellent.
Excellent. That is so nice. Thank you so much, Sika. You're welcome to this meeting. And we need people like you here because you are the future generation. Thank you so much. Happy to see you. Dave, can you introduce yourself? Dave, can you please introduce yourself? Are you there?
Yes, I'm David. An organization called Speak Life Africa. I'm happy to be here.
Great.
You're from Kenya, David, too?
Yes, Kenya, Africa.
That's nice, Dave. You're welcome.
Good.
Julius, can you please introduce yourself? Julius, are you there? Can you introduce yourself?
I thought I had done it before, but I am from Iceland, like Ragnar, and we have been for the last 45 years brothers in the humanizing process, and so I look forward to this meeting and get to know all of you and what we are doing. Thank you.
Thank you. Chancellor, can you introduce yourself? You've come when people are introducing themselves. Jocelyn, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hi, Chancellor.
I'm calling.
Hello, Chancellor.
I'm calling about Chancellor. I'm from Congo, but I stay in Uganda. So I'm so happy to be with you here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and you're welcome. So I think I'm not leaving anyone out. We are just going to start the meeting because I don't want to take much of the time because we only have a few agenda. It's not even many, it's just one agenda, which I think we should talk on today. So we've been having a secretariat meeting where we've been organizing for the third assembly, which is going to be on 19th July. I think it's a few weeks from now. And we've been discussing on how we are going to run the third assembly. The part I would like us to know is that we will be breaking up into the rooms of the thematic table for around 60 minutes where the groups will be discussing. And then we'll come back with a brief report to the assembly, planning on the activity of each thematic table, which I think is also going to take a few time because this time it is going to be a bit strict. We are going to watch on time because we'll not want it to take long because when it's too long, some people leave before they get the full information. So I decided to call this meeting today because we agreed last time that we will be having one meeting in every month. And I think today what I wanted us to talk about majorly is about what do we want to present in the third assembly, which will be on 19th. That is the main agenda. That is what I wanted us to brainstorm today and see how we'll do our presentation on that day as the education thematic table. Thank you. So I've opened the floor. If we can discuss on what we think we can do on 19th, it will be ideal.
So let me say something. We can summarize everything that we have done since the last assembly. And that will show perhaps what are topics that we have to touch upon. I know for one or two meetings that I have participated that we have been dealing with the systems of transcription and translation that have been a concern because always we find some difficulty or other in our meetings. So I think there is some improvement there because Ramiro and people working in that aspect have come to some solution.
Excuse me, there are surrounding noises, so everybody you can put silence your microphone so we can hear what Antonio is saying.
Good,
and
good.
So we have come up with some solutions, and then these solutions can be summarized. And in fact, they are being applied already in some of our international meetings, which is a very positive thing. I understand also that some people have prepared summaries or reports on activities that they have done. For example, the visit to the school again in the human school is that Rose and Dorothy went there.
Lucinda.
And Lucinda, yes, exactly. There is a report that you have shown to some people, and probably that can be filed with the works of the table. And those are the things that come to my mind at the moment. I don't know if there have been other productions or other contributions or other discussions that we have recorded and we can put into file. That's it for me.
Thank you so much, Antonio, for the input. Who is going next?
I think we could present the people that participate in our group, where we are from, what our objectives are, to work together to know about other people's experiences, and include, as Antonio says, Dorothy's experience, and there are many. I think there are others. We should read the synthesis of what we've done, but give like a couple of examples of what we do in our meetings.
I have an idea that maybe it would be relevant to this idea of Sonia, that each and everyone would talk about what have they been doing since last one monthly.
Yes. Okay.
1 month ago, and what they see for the next month. What will be their plan?
Yes.
Then we will have some documentation of what has happened since last time and what you plan for the next one. What do you think of this?
Good. I can tell you something about something we've been doing in the park. Some people from state schools, there's a group of that teach adults. Primary school, they alphabetize, they teach how to read and write to young people or adults that can't do it yet, haven't finished primary school. And it's a very interesting system because to begin with, they haven't got a building, a special building. They just go to other places. So someone went past the park and said, "Oh, what a nice place. Maybe they could lend us a place to work here." So they asked us, and of course we liked it very much because and well, so the teachers came, also the headmistress of this group. We are writing now an act, like an agreement of what we offer, what they are going to use, how we must be careful, etc. And it's good because this is like they belong to the state, the government, let's say. It's something very formal, very legal, let's say. So in the act, we wrote that we are going to give workshops to the students. And they agreed. They said, well, of course, both institutions have to interact, they said. They are very open, because they are used to going to other people's places, let's say. So we are going to give them workshops like maybe once a month. And we are having our first meetings. Funny because it snowed there in the park. It's quite a high place, and it snowed and it's very cold. I don't know how many people went, but well, those details how they are going to warm themselves up because it's very cold and we haven't got a very much proper heating there. So they have to arrange something without, spending too much electricity. And I like this step, because it opens the park to many people, many teachers, many schools, other places, libraries where these people are functioning. So, well, that I'm in charge of that. So I'm like the link. I have to, talk with the commission of the park and with the teachers. So that's what I've been doing.
Mm-hmm. You're muted, Dorothy.
That is great. Rose hands is up. Yes, Rose?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just overthinking. I don't know if it's right, because we are like a roadmap of work that we are supposed to do, like for the rest of the 6 months before we close the year, as our thematic table that will show maybe the task, responsibility, and the work that you're planning to do. What do you people think?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yes. Our plans for the future, you mean?
Yeah.
Yes, like our action plan, our roadmap,
Yes, yes.
Yes, I mean, I think it's a very good idea in the sense that the idea of the thematic tables is for people who have an interest in the topic of the table, in this case, education, because of the background or because of their inclination or because of their instinct or because of whatever reason. And therefore they are interested in undertake a work together.
Turn off the mics.
By now would be very interesting that the table, we as a heterogeneous group of people with a common orientation, although we are heterogeneous from different languages, cultures, countries, ages, etc., we have a common objective, that is that we are humanists and we want to humanize the earth, and we want to humanize the earth from the perspective of education. And so we have to make an inventory of what is our skills. For example, Sonia said that she likes very much a project that came in contact with the park that has to do with literacy, how to prepare in terms of literacy people who cannot write or read. And that is done by younger children. So maybe it's something that, in a way, you or the people in the park in Argentina would like to undertake as one of the activities of the park. But we, as a table on education, probably we need to formulate an interest that is more in agreement with our own objectives in the forum. And we said in the forum that the tables will deal with topics that will help to humanize the earth. And the topic of education is massively important, not just in Africa, in Asia, in Latin America, everywhere else. Without higher levels of education, it's impossible to develop. All the technical statistics have indicated that. So perhaps that is something that we need as a table to gather information about what is happening in Africa, first of all, in the countries where we are operating. And later on, we have to gather statistics about what is happening in the continent as large. What are the levels of education, of under-education for age groups, of university level and advanced education in different disciplines? And therefore, how we can attract the attention of governments or authorities, or in which way we can contribute to those type of processes. And wherever possible, if from the table we could set in motion actions that, using the skills of the participants, could reflect the spirit of humanism in those particular projects. And I was thinking there of Rose and Dorothy, maybe others amongst ourselves, who have a speciality, as a professional speciality, education. Because you can come with very interesting ideas, and together maybe from the table we could propose a transformation of your schools into humanist schools, or how we can create something new and how we can get support from government or whatever in those type of projects. I am just talking out of improvisation, but that would be the type of models or examples that correspond to the level of this thematic table, is what I gather. And of course, in the first initial 3 or 4 months since we started these tables, we have been sort of testing the water, getting to know each other, find out what is the origin of this or that, and that type of approach, rapprochement, if you want. We are coming closer to the topic. But perhaps it's about time to define what is that we want to do in a way that really we are adding up to the project of humanization of Africa in this case. But not just, because these experiences could be applicable immediately in many other regions, practically all the other regions where we operate. That I will leave it at that for now.
That is great, Antonio. Thank you so much for the ideas.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Yes, Julius? Julius, can you please go ahead?
Sorry. So, since we are somehow, trying to find out how we can maximize our the usefulness of this meeting, then I think that it would be interesting in the comments to the person in that comments would say briefly what has happened since last 1 month ago, what has been our project, and also what plan we have for the next month until the next meeting of the table. So, for instance, I seem to remember that Dorothy and Rose, you went to Lucinda in this period, and I remember something you told me that this, I think, is incredibly interesting to hear about, because the things in Lucinda School are really an example of humanizing education.
So, Julius, are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, it's okay.
I was very impressed about what the report you gave out, but I guess that some of the people here have not had this report yet. I don't mean the whole.
So you want us to repeat you want us to repeat, or?
Yeah, just to see the major, like your experience and what you take back from the visit, briefly, and then how you see the future. Yeah.
Okay, Rose, can you go ahead and give a brief of the report, please?
Thank you so much, Julius, Antonio, and everyone. Maybe I can give a brief report on what we did in Rusinga Humanist School, where we visited I and Dorothy. The main agenda or the main mission that took us there, we had promised them previously our visit that we'll be going there to celebrate with them the Day of the African Child. That was on 16th of June. That is when we went. So we had different activities to commemorate the day. We had activity with the kindergarten. We had an activity on painting. The kindergarten children were painting. Their sisters, their brother, their family members, how they see the African child. In terms of painting, it was like a therapy to them, that how do they see the African child of today, and the African child that they want to be today and tomorrow and years to come. So we did painting with them. Then we also had another activity with the primary and secondary, where we had group discussions, where we grouped them in groups of six, where it was a combination of both boys and girls, where they were saying the challenges that they are experiencing as African children and how they want an African child to be. They were sharing the ideas on child labor, child abuse, different violations. And we also had another activity with both the pupils and the teachers, where we taught them how to make soap as a way on how to approach. The theme of the day was about budgeting and planning. So we made soap with them. The soap we made could be used in the school to clean and do other things. So it was an activity just to show inclusion between children, support staff, and the teachers, just to be included in planning. Planning is not only in the use of money, but planning can also they can consider planning with their children by just getting information from them. Like, today we are eating, what do we want us to eat? Like, we have 50 bob, how can we plan with the 50 bob? So they don't have to give something for you to include them in budgeting and planning. And it was the main agenda, like the theme of that day. Then we also had an activity with the girls where we were talking about sexual reproductive health and rights. And after talking to them about that, we shared a package of sanitary towels with the girls. Like, every people around there got one. Sorry for my dogs, but I'm continuing. Then after that, we came out clear to tell them what happened, that the African child is being celebrated. And we told them that the reason why they're celebrating the day is there is a group of children or peoples in South Africa, Soweto, that wanted their voice to be heard, and they were killed because only for speaking their voices and coming out clearly that they want to be given their rights. So they were killed because they were speaking out kwamba they are African children and they have a right to education, they have a right to basic needs. So the day was commemorated and it was marked. It should be celebrated by the African child. Another thing from all the activities that we did, what came out clearly is this African child is still far behind, because most of them didn't know if there's a day that an African child is being celebrated. So it was a surprise to them. They didn't know, and it was like a miracle to them. Another thing that came out clear, because Rusinga Humanist School considers humanity and they're humanizing the world, they separated the day. Like, the day we did all our activity, the day was spared. All the activities were blocked. There was nothing that was happening, because we went there and we are learning from there and we did our activity. So all the activities, they were doing exams, and because they want to humanize the world, all the activities were stopped just to commemorate the day. So it was a plus for us, and it was something that we didn't take it for granted, because we saw it like, this school, we need to learn a lot from them, because they were telling us there's no way the day can be celebrated including other activities. If you are celebrating the Day of the African Child, then it should be a day that should be respected with us and also the people. Another thing that came out clear, what we learned from there is we've been including a lot the peoples, the staffs, and the teachers. Now we agreed that we need to include a few teachers from around the school, other schools, to come and learn more, so that we combine a joint activity with both teachers and subordinate staffs from Urusinga Humanist School with other schools, so that even if the people's close school going back to their homes, they will be interacting with other children. So at least the other children should also know there is this thing called humanist work. It should not be like a dream that they've never had. It should be like something that they've had, and it is being taught even with the schools around. Another thing also we agreed on was going back there so that we have both people's, teachers, parents, and community members, where we will talk about what we are planning to do with the other humanist school and how they see humanist work and how is it workable for them. Because, you know, we've been going to the school, we heard from the same people, but we don't get ideas from other people and how they see humanists. And how, you know, you cannot humanize the world alone. You have to include other people, because it is a big cow that you cannot eat it alone. You have to combine efforts so that we humanize the world. I think I have not forgotten anything because I was doing a summary. Otherwise, I shared a report. Maybe you can go through so that you'll be at par. Thank you.
Thank you. Very complete.
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you so much, Rose.
This is really good. Useful for the future.
I can see there are people who have come. Maybe they can introduce themselves, tell us where they are coming from, what they are doing, as we continue with the meeting. Yes, Alice, go. Yes, Tracy.
Many are joining.
My name is Tracy. I'm a humanist.
Yes, Alice.
Hi, my name is Alice. I am a humanist.
Yes, Joseph.
Hello, how are you? It must been so long time. Joseph, I am a humanist.
Yes, Silvanus, can you introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Silvanos and I am a humanist. Thank you.
Okay, for those who have joined the meeting right now, we were just discussing on what you're planning to do on the third assembly, and people are just brainstorming on what should be done on that day. So if you have any idea, that is what we've been discussing while you had not reported. Abel, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I was just giving an opinion in terms of those ones who are new, who are attending this meeting for the first time. Maybe if you can explain what it means by first and second, and now the third activity that is coming up.
I will throw the ball back to Antonio. Antonio, can you give us a brief of the first and second assembly? Stop laughing, please.
Well, I think the assembly of the forum, in my view, they have been trying to configure the experience of the forum, since they have been very effective in attractive and inviting a large number of people, of which a proportion have registered and a smaller number have attended. And then that has allowed us to basically introduce what is the intention and the plan of the forum, and has helped us to detect all the problems that exist when you convey a meeting of that magnitude and you are not very conscious about all the difficulties of coordination, of communication, of interpretation, etc. And I think that has been very rich, because the very nature of the forum, being a world forum, is to have present lots of cultures, lots of languages, lots of ages, lots of specializations. And the forum is at the moment just a frame, but it doesn't have content yet. And so the people who participated and understanding the general orientation have come forward with some ideas of things that they would like to sit with others sharing similar ideas and decide what topics they want to study. But obviously not study, when we say not study, not improvise or not talk to the neighbor or not that type of thing, because that is not a study. For that you don't need a forum. Just you need to have a cup of tea with your neighbor and exchange chat about different things. So really the idea is an idea that is very new for everyone. But since we have a very rich doctrine, a very rich system of theories, a very clear orientation about how to reduce violence and eliminate violence in the world and help the evolution of humankind, so we tend to be very selective and to think very big things compared to the little resources that we have and very little experience to work in this scale. And then we thought that this challenge is very interesting. And from that viewpoint, I consider that the first and the second assembly have been testing, have been taking samples of our handicaps and our ability to get organized a large number and to propose in those thematic tables something that is worth and that is attractive to everyone. Because if you invite people, you make a few speeches, and everybody finds it impossible to do, or very boring, your explanation, or nothing has been achieved, of course, people will not come back. Next time they will wave at you and will say, call me back when you are ready. So now we are going into the third one, and then we are aiming at having a more efficient system of interpreting, a more efficient organization, of applying more time to the work of the tables, where we are aiming at 1 hour, where people in the different thematic tables can be discussing. And with shorter time of general presentations. And we'll see what happens. If everything moves more or less in proportion, and we can move to the next stage. And so we come back here to what we were discussing just 15 or 20 minutes back. That is, what are going to be the objectives of this table that has called itself education. That means the table is going to explore topics of general interest related to the enormous topic of education, because all the experts in the world have realized that the potential of education and educated population are what determines the development and the progress of all nations in the world. Little by little, they are coming to the conclusion that emphasize the importance of capital. If you have the money or you don't have the money, that is a fallacy. A fallacy means a lie. Capital is a factor that supports human endeavors. But the most important thing is the human being. And human beings have to be aware, have to be healthy, have to be educated, have to be capable of learning new skills every day and applying those skills in different areas that will help the improvement of the communities, the nations, the continents, and the world in general. That implies also to learn a manner of behaving that is not exactly what they have been doing until now. Why? Because human behavior is fundamentally violent. Because the human beings, because of the way they are constructed, tend to think one thing, to feel something different, and they end up doing something different. And that permanent contradiction gives a feeling of frustration, psychologically speaking, profoundly emotionally speaking, and that frustration is expressed externally as violence. So one thing is to talk about non-violence, but if you are incapable of overcoming violence within yourself, there is nothing much that you can achieve. And that is the reality of the history of humankind up to this historical point. We are talking here and there some nice ideas. In the next step, we betray ourselves. The projects that we have built for our societies, we betray. The monies and the efforts that humanity has put together for this or that, we betray, and a few steal the money and oppress the rest, and so on and so forth. So there are things that do not keep pace between what we think or project and what we are capable to do. And therefore we keep betraying ourselves continuously. And that is what humanism, universalist humanism, has observed and studied, and that is the essence of the teachings of Silo. That we need to work in overcoming our own individual violence at the same time that we aim at overcoming social violence. Because if with one of the terms missing, the other one is not possible. As simple as that. And therefore, if we have that picture clear, in our table of education, we should be formulating topics of study, observations or activities that will allow us to achieve both results. One would be to, as we were mentioning before, to have an analysis, a comprehension, an evaluation of the situation of education in Africa. Because the biggest capital of this continent, and all the other continents, by the way, is the populations. We have clear examples in China, in India, in Africa itself, that the GDPs, that means the capital of those societies, have gone exponentially high. Yes. Because when people can work together, can have a bit of access to the satisfaction of the basic necessities, like health, like education, like housing, like transport, like, things of that type, immediately they jump 10 meters high. And the speed of progress is amazing. And now many of the experts, estimating what is happening, for example, with Africa, is the fastest growing population in the planet.
And the capacity or the potential to develop new sciences, new technologies, new skills, the most advanced that you can imagine. Because don't you think that because before you have been underdeveloped, that it will take you 200 years to get to the stage that will fulfill those steps so quickly that probably will be the most advanced in the most advanced technologies the sooner. There are paradoxes of development and organization. So the potential is enormous. But we need to know as a group, human group, all the millions that live in Africa, that I think there are 1.7 billion at the moment, they need to have a clear picture of what is the potential, what are areas of conflict that they have to pacify as soon as possible and reestablish everything that has been destroyed there. Mostly subordinate exploiting trying to become and now neocolonialists, they come with a different shade of it, a different language, and they will deploy it. And they have been chased out by Israel, and the French will all chase the things out, the troops out, and so on, and now we have 7 million Americans, and so on and so forth. So people are becoming aware that the continents are starting to change. And there's a new tendency in the planet that is called the BRICS, a large number of nations that want things to change at a global scale, and not being manipulated by the monopowers, the unipolar world, that has been the oppressors in the past. And when those things get clear in the minds of people, nothing stops people.
Maybe we could study together the situation in Africa. Yes, like having a general overview of the political situation or the
knowledge and the real needs of people being able to realize how do we divide this? Sorry.
How do we divide this? Because it's enormous. It's like
If you ask something to do, if you ask something profound, it will give you the statistics, because artificial intelligence is that instrument, this machine. So if we realize all the relevant information, then we can back, we can organize, we can structure, we can say what situation in Kenya. In terms of education, you take all the age groups, you take all the regions and sub-regions, and you can prepare a report, but you send it to law. We'll say, well, because you don't have any possibility to deny it or to ignore it or anything like that, and all this stuff is disseminated from the forum to the nations at large. So governments will not be able to hide, to lie in terms of things that people should know. And then people will decide because people know what they need, that they need information. And so that would be very important contributions by different thematic tables for the forum. And all of us, we can observe and we can achieve and we can gather information with great effectiveness. I have seen reports by prepare you in the activities that you are doing in the so instead of filling out report with anecdotes, if you fill in real statistics with real data, they become very powerful tools for the education of the populations of the countries of Africa and in general. We are making a contribution. That's not about because they will report of the human forum in blah 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 blah. At one point, the report will be there, and they will divide us.
Go ahead, Julius.
Yes. Thank you, Antonio, for your extremely enlightening account of what it is to be a humanist and what it is to humanize the earth and all that. And this brings to my mind something that Silo said during the process of the humanist movement. And he said something like, an educated and healthy nation can squeeze water out of stones.
That's a nice one.
So nice one.
yes.
So what's
Thank
good
you.
about this is that we are all enabled, because suddenly you see, what can I do if I don't know anything about this and that? Well, but we have all the instruments, and you start to collect information, and we share what information you collected. Another sources, and we'll apply and so the discussions at the table of can begin very starting another day
that is development.
Puhut. Ihan
Of attention.
kun
When you are able to attend to what you do, what I am talking, and I attend to what I am saying when I'm talking, it's different if I am talking blah, 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 and after that you ask me, what did you say? And probably I don't fully know. I forgot. Why? Because it's just the mechanicity of the speech, but it's different if there is an intention, because that requires that you are aware of what you are saying, that you are paying attention to what you are saying and to your ideas and different things. Those things cannot be trained overnight, but gradually we start to acquire then a different level of consciousness. When we do some of these activities that are day-to-day activities, mechanical activities, something is happening in terms of the substances that we accumulate in parts of our nervous system. Let's say small particulars, almost at the level of microphysics, if you want, in the sense that you tend to accumulate different quality of substances that at one point allow you, sort of open the doors for you to be in a more awakened state of consciousness. And you don't know how did it happen, but it happened. So there are manners of being in the world, of perceiving, of attending, of doing this or that tend to produce different results in our own personal development and evolution. Those things are not taught anywhere because they are not known by the systems of education in general. But they are things that can produce very important changes in the development of a person. The same as the economy of our energy. Normally, we carry lots of tensions in our muscles, in our psychophysical structure, even that burn energy like crazy. And all those tensions are not good for anything because you are not using those muscles. But we carried our system of tensions with us. And we are always tired in the end. We don't have energy for this, energy for that, and we don't know the reason. And it's because we carry excessive tensions in our day to day life. So there is a very comprehensive system of self distending or relaxing yourself in all different levels, in the more external muscles, in the more internal muscles, in your viscera, etc., etc. And so, Sonia, carry on.
Yes,
No,
Sonia.
just to make it a bit more practical, let's say. I would like to discuss how we could approach what the object, the meaning, what the target would be for us. How we could put questions so that each of us can answer the questions and get to some kind of conclusion. For example, let's say, what are the most important problems education has in this country or in that? Or each could maybe research on one country or on one region.
Yes, that has to be
Questions
organized,
of
definitely.
that kind, for
Yeah.
example. But
Exactly. You have to
we could
do a
we could
plan.
share the
That
same
means
question.
instead of coming to the meeting and spending lots of times in salutes and the who are you? Of course, we know who are because we have been seeing each other for months. And so, and we go into the nitty gritty, into the substance, and we say, well, I propose this and this and this, and I am offering to initiate study here and there. We go to the substance. And then we go and do our research. Next time that we meet, we bring the results of what we have. Probably what you will discover
Yes.
is that people are not receiving the education universally as they have the right of, because the people who are going into formal education are a small proportion of all the children who are being born or who live in a particular. So the government is failing their obligation of providing a fundamental human right, that is a right of education, to all the children in a scholar life. So those type of statistics we need to have to see in what proportion the government in Kenya is failing the population, or in Argentina, or in different parts of the world. And the government will always tell lies, and they will justify, and they will say that it's the fault of the previous government or whatever. But the fact is that they are at fault, and they haven't informed the people, and they can keep failing. And so when we have all that picture, we can do lots of things with that information. So yes, we have to think about all these
Yes.
questions as you are suggesting, I think.
Yeah, I think that is a good suggestion, Sonia. And we are going to put it in consideration. So, what was the good news? Or you had already talked about the good news and I didn't capture it?
Yes.
Sonia?
No, I told you.
You said that
This
you
thing
had a
that
good
we
news.
are like opening a little school in the park.
Oh, yeah, that was a. So, I think for today we can wrap up. And I was thinking that as per our agenda and the question I asked before, I've come with the 3 areas that can help us to come with what we want to do at the third assembly, summarized the work, then action plan, and then the projects and experience. So that is what we can talk about
Can you
during the
repeat,
third
please,
assembly.
Dorothy, what are the 3 topics?
There are the 3 areas which I've captured when we were having this
Yes.
meeting. Yeah,
Yes.
and it is open because it is not the end of conclusion, but according
Exactly.
No,
to
yes,
how you are
okay.
talking, and yeah, so it's to summarize the work we've been doing, and then the action plan, and then the projects and the experience.
Yes.
So those ones are in a nutshell of what we've been doing. So
Yes.
these are the things we can work on to present on the third assembly. Rose, I can see your hand is up. Yes, Rose, go ahead. We are not getting you. We are not getting you. Can you put your mouth next to the speaker?
We can't hear you.
Rose, no, we are not getting you.
Hello.
There.
Yeah, now you're there. Good.
I was just and the
You're lost again.
No.
You are lost.
Am I there?
Yes.
Yes, yes, okay.
Stay in that
Yes.
position. Don't move there.
Okay. I'm saying just to boost on the 3 key points that maybe we can handle, because we can't go with 10 points and we'll have limited time on that day. Maybe we can summarize the work that we've been doing as our table. After
Yes.
summarizing the work, that as point 1, then we have an action plan as thematic table, education thematic table, and also share experiences on the projects that we've been doing, specifically from our table. Then from that, when time is still there, we can see on how to put other things in. But I support we stick on the 3. Yeah.
Me too.
Yes, great. Very
Yes, Sonia.
interesting. No,
Sonia.
I was just I was just saying that I agree that I like the 3 points.
Okay,
That we
that's
can,
great.
this is what we can do. We can present what we have been doing as a table here, our plans, like this work we want to do together, this research we want to do together for the future, and at the same time comment on some experiences. Is that what you said? Am I right?
Yeah, that is what I say. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, that's great.
good.
And I hope, Sonia, that we
Yes.
will have one of your very nice written
Yes.
report.
Dorothy, you wrote the last one. It was very good too.
No,
Remember?
I didn't do the writing. Ross is the one who wrote it. Me, I just do the
Rose,
cheering.
very
Just
good, Rose.
appointing and hearing the way people are talking.
But
Yeah,
you
Ross
had
is the one
you
who
had
did
the
that.
transcription, didn't you?
Yeah,
You had the
because
transcription.
Yeah,
Yes.
because,
I
because
think there's
we
a
have
record which Ragnar is recording. I think we can get the record and then do the writing of the minutes from there.
yes,
Great.
that will
Okay.
help
Yeah.
Yes.
you, Sonia, and you will share it in the the educational World Human Forum educational WhatsApp group.
Yeah, just want to say
Yeah,
about,
because I
I
think
think
I
I
also
managed
promised
to
Carlos
report
so
the
on the
meeting,
other side
but
because they
there
were
are
also
some
having the
gaps when
meeting,
I'm
and I told
driving.
him that we also have
Sometimes
here.
the
So maybe I'll
connection
give him the
fall out
update.
and come
If you
in.
get the report, I can
But
forward it, and then
I will,
you can
I will,
see if
I
we
will,
are at par
They are
with
having
them.
the
I
Spanish
will,
meeting, I think.
I will,
Ragnar wants
Yeah.
to
I
say
will,
Yes,
something.
Ragnar.
I will
Yeah.
share it. I will convert it tonight. You know, when we are, but, I should have a,
Okay,
seminar for
okay, no
you
It's
problem.
extraordinary that you can
about,
do all that.
about.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Sorry, I was not finished. I was saying I should have seminar for you how you can use time, how you can
Okay,
double or
whatever
triple
you
use
have, the
time.
rest we complete.
That
We
is one
complete the
thing.
rest.
Yeah.
No
That's good.
problem.
Yeah.
We can remember that.
And
We can
I
remember.
know, Ross, you are also taking notes.
I'm saying,
No worries. Have.
and then
Okay.
I thank Sonia that the importance of having a written report is
Yes,
the
yes, yes.
language, because like Carlos
Yes, I
and
will.
the people around him, Spanish speaking, then
Yes.
they can, uh, you know, just
Translate that.
translate writing.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
Yeah.
Of course. Okay, Ragnar, you're going to
Okay.
send. So you send it. You send whatever you have.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
can see it 10:19 Kenya time.
Yes.
So
Okay. We
I'm
wrap
almost
it.
closing the meeting, but I don't want to lock someone out. Maybe if you have something to say, go ahead because I'll be closing in a few.
Can I say something very short? Don't you think that we have
It's
been
okay,
just
Antonio. Go ahead.
that you have been beating about the bush, as the Australians say, just wasting time? Lots of tables have faced a similar situation. They need some time, 1 or 2 months, to find the ground, to find really what is all this about. You start with one thing, you start with another thing, and suddenly
Yes.
we start to see, well, this will be our objective, where we can all move together. If we haven't gone through all this sort of waste of time the previous 4 or 5 weeks,
Of
we wouldn't be
course.
able to be
Of
here.
course.
And so it's nothing to be depressed about, but all the contrary, to feel very optimistic,
Of
because I
course.
think to do this type of study that we are talking about is worth it for us and for many others.
Excuse me. This has to do. Just now, someone wrote about the mapping of schools influenced by humanists' ideas. That
Also,
Yeah.
our
Yeah.
research could involve this, which is very interesting, a
exactly.
mapping of the schools. That would be
Yeah.
very
Because
interesting.
yeah, because I've seen Abel has written here. How far are we with the mapping of schools in reference with the humanist school already visited?
Very important.
We
Who was
have the
going to do
objective
that?
of humanizing the world through education that put emphasis on human person.
Exactly.
Harmonizing and step-by-step orientation will eventually lead to meeting our general objectives.
Perfect.
Yes.
That is brilliant. Share it.
I have
Yeah.
something
Thank
to
you,
say.
Abel. Thank
Yes.
you, Abel.
Mm-mm.
Hey, please. Hello.
Yes. Go ahead.
Hello, we
Go
are
ahead.
getting you.
Okay, I was suggesting if maybe we can agree on our next meeting, because we are having this meeting and we will not have another meeting up to the assembly day, because we are having the assembly on 19th,
Yeah.
and in between there's no time, so we cannot also do these things. We have to do these things together. So maybe we can agree on a day that we have a meeting to focus on those things before the day of the assembly.
Yes.
Yes. Good idea.
Thank you.
So we come with a very compact and clear message for the assembly.
Yeah,
Correct.
Yeah,
but we have a schedule.
correct.
But we have schedule, and we can maybe uh, use our your schedule to have in 1 month's time. We have another meeting.
No,
But the assembly is on the
no.
19th. We don't have a month for that.
On the 19th of July.
Här
Yes,
On the
3 weeks'
Yeah,
19th.
time.
no,
Ah,
konstitutionen
okay.
we have a rhythm
förlåter
of
till
the
och
table
ja.
1 month. So in 1 month we are where are we in 1 month?
Yes, but Dorothy and
So,
Rose are suggesting how we can synthesize these points that we have been discussing today. So the report to the assembly will be very compact, very concise, and we
Okay.
all agree. So we have to have a short informal meeting before the 19th.
Yes. When
Ja,
could
det,
yeah.
that be?
ja,
Let
det,
me see. Before the 19th.
ja, det
Before the
ser det.
19th, it could
Next
be.
Tuesday, what is next Tuesday will be which date?
Alles.
Sonia,
Next
on your
Tuesday is the
calendar.
8th. Next
Utan,
Tuesday is the 8th.
Of
And
July.
the other one, the next one is the 15th. Before the 19th. Could be that Tuesday.
So I think the 15th will be ideal. Is that okay?
20,
Yes.
Is that okay with you?
29.
Eh?
29th is 1 month
rahat
time.
utan
29th of
Olsen och
July.
alles.
No,
No, we are saying the 15th,
No,
Tuesday the
oh,
15th.
Julius, we
I
are
see. Yeah,
come.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry, sorry,
we
sorry.
are coming up with what we can
Efter,
present on the assembly.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
we thought of having another meeting on the 15th of July so that we can come with a
Before the
comprehensive report before
right. Okay.
the assembly.
Yeah.
I think the 15th of July will be okay.
All right.
Yeah. And we get
Is that
just
okay
into
with
the
everyone?
subject. Yeah, perfect.
Due diligence.
We don't introduce ourselves, we just say hi, and we go into the subject.
From before embarking.
Bravo, bravo.
Okay,
Okay.
Dave.
Right.
There is something also Dave has written in the messenger inbox that due diligence before visiting. Make sure we meet the leaders so that we can get information before embarking.
Yeah.
I don't know what David meant by this.
Yes, that's a
What
lot
is
of
the leaders of what?
Well,
He's
it's an
trying to say
allegorical
that
way of
make
saying,
sure we meet the leaders so that we can get informed before embarking. So I don't know what he meant by that.
it's military
Well,
jargon or something of the sort, but what
well,
means is that we
maybe
have all the
not
relevant
having
information.
only the information from internet, but also from friends or from people
Maybe.
we know. Maybe. Okay. Well, people,
Okay.
thank you very much.
Okay.